evening, everyone. I'm just gonna start off by getting you guys to say your names all at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice to meet you. I'm Jade, and I'm a student at Lloydminster Comprehensive High School. So I kind of decided to do this talk to take an opportunity to be vulnerable, because in my everyday life, I kind of tend to keep people at arm's length. Now, when I think of raw, I was like, oh, should I do something involving a past event? Then I decided that the most raw I can be is talking about what I'm going through right now. So I was kind of looking up definitions of raw, and what I found was unrefined, rough, and unprepared. Now, as someone who's jumping into adulthood right away, those words are all too real for me. I'm going to be leaving everything I've ever known pretty soon, and I've got some classic teenage angst going for me, so, it's good. I'm also facing a lot of the lasts in my life. It's my last year living at home with my parents and having people buy me meals, and it's really great. And it's my last year in high school. It's my last year living in a smaller town. I'm going to be moving to a city next year. So I just keep thinking back to myself in grade 10. I would sit under the staircase and eat my lunch because I was a little bit afraid of the older kids. Right now, I'm in my comfort zone. I like knowing where I am. I like knowing what to do. I like knowing everyone. And next year, I'm going to be back to square one. And that's a little bit scary. So you see that? That's me, jumping into adulthood with my arms flailing. I have two modes of thinking going on. So there's the one side where I'm so excited, this amazing prospect, going to university and doing all these amazing things. And then I'm also really afraid of being an adult. Like, look at that. I don't know how to read these hieroglyphics. Can't even find my pants half the time, let alone wash them properly. Like, help me, Mom, please. I'm just basically terrified, and I think that, anyone who's tried to wash their clothes can relate to that. So another thing that I'm struggling with is like finding what I'm gonna do. Like, am I going down the right path? Maybe I should be an underwater basket weaver. So another struggle I'm facing is that I am very busy, okay? I'm trying to fit in like school, homework, clubs, like leadership, youth council, sleeping sometimes, maybe, doing homework. Yeah, speaking of homework, I'm kind of a chronic procrastinator, okay? I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of my thing to go right up to that deadline. It's not always the best idea. And I wrote a film about procrastination, and I procrastinated that too. It's not always the best, and I'm just generally kind of nervous and anxious most of the time. So these are my grandparents, and they are amazing people, okay? But I keep thinking, like, I'm moving so far away, and how many times am I gonna get to see them before it's too late? I really wondered the same thing with my mom. A few months ago, she was misdiagnosed with a lung infection and sent home, and she nearly died. There was one day where I stayed home, and it was really close. She was actually going through systemic sepsis. So that was kind of taking its toll on me throughout the year, and a couple weeks later, I was in a band rehearsal on this very stage, bawling my eyes out for no apparent reason, just started crying. It was either the pressure from like SATs and family stuff, or it was that smooth jazz, So this is my mom, and she is probably the most amazing person I know. And she got that call from the school like, hey, your kid's crying, fix it. And so she got my brother to drive her home from the hospital, ditched a wheelchair in a parking lot, and just bust through the door carrying her oxygen tank like some kind of ICU gangster. I have a really supportive family, they're amazing. But my struggles are universal. Like, everyone in this room, look around you. Behind the eyes of everyone in this room is someone who has lost, someone who has gone through things, and someone who has sometimes just kicked butt in their life. And that's You know, that's pretty amazing. People tell me that on the outside, oh, I can never get those marks. Oh, you look like you're so put together. But most of the time, I feel like I'm falling, okay? Like, just because something doesn't look like it's broken on the outside doesn't mean there's nothing to be fixed. So since I'm talking about my current year, I'm just a little, I don't really know. Newsflash, I haven't figured it all out yet, but all I know is that you gotta live in the moment. Because each moment and each day is both a first and a last, so there's no point in stressing over it. Like, I'm going to be the same person next year. I'm still gonna have the same supportive family. I'm still gonna procrastinate and like not wanna do stuff, eat Cheetos all day sometimes. Maybe I'll drift apart from my friends, but that's okay. I just move. All I have to remember is that each last brings about an exciting first. And if I fail, I just gotta face my fears. Like, if you fall, just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and fake it till you make it, baby. Thank you.